Welcome back, guys. Another episode here. As always, Brett Relander, Nate Doimer, getting back at you with some quality golf talk. A little bit about ourselves, golf community, everything going on. We're not going to make this one too long today. Just some short, sweet, simple stuff with no tournaments going on. I mean, we're talking about President's Cup coming up here. We got a bunch of the PGA Tour card holders. The guy from Air Force Academy getting his first card. I mean, there's a couple of small things going on in the golf world, but more importantly, Nate, tell us about our event.
Yeah, glad to be back. It's been about a week since our last recording, so happy to be here and talk about what's happened in the last week. A few things have happened. We'll talk about that set list in just a second. But of course, the 2022 fall lefty righty Fourball. We have one goal. Of course, that's the goal here with this event. Or maybe just to bring a couple lefties, couple righties together, play some golf. Maybe we're not changing people's lives, but let me tell you about this event. It's an 18-hole event on September 17th out at Whispering Pines in Annandale, Minnesota. We're gonna have all those proxy games, those prize games. There'll be longest drive, longest putt, closest to the pin, skins games you can buy into. So super looking forward to that. Email me at mnlefthanders@gmail.com to get your name on the list. And at that point, we'll kind of talk about how you can register and that sort of thing. Of course, follow, like, subscribe. You can reach out that way as well. That's a great place, a great way to connect with Minnesota left-handers. Both Brett and I kind of connected in different ways there. So that's the event. That's coming up very soon, well, just under 2 weeks. So definitely want to get to that if you can.
Absolutely. Now, tell us a little bit about what's going on in the world here. Obviously, we got our event, but first things first, this Nostradoimus. All right, a play on words.
Yes, that's the label I gave to myself when I made the bold prediction that Keegan Bradley wouldn't top 10. Not exactly, world beating there. I get that that's a prediction that seemed reasonable. However, I think this one on Justin Suh might be something. I did that feature on him, linked in our on our YouTube page, and I tweeted it out a little bit as well because I really think that he's destined for some greatness here. And in the absence of any real PGA Tour events this week, with the Tour Championship ending last week, they get a week or two off here before the Fortinet the Fall Series. The Korn Ferry Tour Finals, the Korn Ferry Tour Championship came last weekend, and who came out on top? Justin Suh. As a reminder, kind of what was expected of him. Do you have that video of the press conference?
Yes, I do. I got it right here.
From 2019. If you just want to play maybe the first 30 seconds or so.
19 Travelers Championship. As you all know, this tournament has a long history of giving sponsor exemptions to up-and-coming players. And this group that's here before us today, what a bright future that these guys have. And the fact that they're all friends, too, as you can tell, makes it even more special to have them on the stage with us at one time. We're joined by Victor Hovland, Colin Morikawa, Justin Suh, and Matthew Wolff. So before we open it up to questions, we'll just get some opening comments from each guy. Victor, Oklahoma State University, making your professional debut here this week at the Travelers.
So I just wanted to bring that up to point out the kind of company that he was sort of in when he came into the league in 2019, the tour in 2019. Victor Hovland, Colin Morikawa, and Matt Wolff. Like, those are three careers I'd like to have. Much was expected of Justin Suh, and it took him a couple years. He had an injury in there, but I just really think that he is going to be one of those guys to keep the PGA Tour the top tour, the sort of the class of golf, of course, in the face of LIV. So, just wanted to toot my own horn a little bit there with my prediction.
Nostradoimus returns again.
Yes.
He gets us again. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I think this should be a segment every single time. So we need some more predictions at the end of this podcast. A little teaser, huh?
Yeah, I think maybe a President's Cup prediction is coming.
Ooh.
But also as we head into winter and look into next year, I think something that we should do, this is a bit of an on-air production meeting, I suppose, is make some Masters predictions, not even just the Masters, maybe some major predictions. So you and I can look into that, see if we can't.
I bet you Tiger's there. I bet you he plays.
Hit on some predictions. Yes. Well, the guy only plays 4 times a year. He's got to play the majors, right?
It's legendary. That's why he won't leave the PGA Tour that he doesn't play in anymore.
Well, that's tomorrow's sports. He's going to play in that reality show thing with
he's got to. I mean, something's got to hold the PGA against the LIV tournament, because as soon as they get a contract, it's over.
Oh, I know. That's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. So yeah, I mean, we've got just a couple of the things I wanted to chat with you today about. The President's Cup, and then I came across an article titled "The 26 Hardest Shots in Golf." So definitely want to get into those. Right before we dive in, though, do you have anything else that you want to chat about regarding your own golf game? Maybe some follow-up to fantasy football. Anything you want to share?
All right. So just recently, I blew up my back on Friday.
Yeah, we were gonna go do some golf stuff that day, and then I got a call I didn't want to hear.
Oh my God! The text message that I sent you was on point, though. I mean, that day, exactly how it went. Hey, going to the PGA Tour Superstars, what you had texted me. I said, nice. I'm 2 Tylenol, 1 Advil, 1 chiropractor visit, 6 beers, 1 shot, 3 ice packs, and just finished a 90s movie called She's All That. Deep in my afternoon and still feel like poop. So, lifted my treadmill. I have this 40-foot storage container that I emptied completely by myself. Maybe a little bit of help with my 3-year-old, okay? Some small things. But, awesome, right? I'm down to the last load. And when I tell you the last load, I have a table, a couple of chairs, a treadmill, and an engine hoist left, dude. Out of a 40-foot container. A whole home packed in this thing. Last load. I'm loading the heaviest thing first to get it out of the way. You know what I mean? Tackle the biggest job first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Form's perfect. I'm bending with my knees, get down there, grabbing this thing, lifting my tailgate, catches the bedrock, slips, falls. I'm stuck.
Done.
Yeah, dude, done. Straight to the chiropractor. Came home. I spent all weekend just with a steady buzz. And speaking of the devil, I still have the buzz going just because the back ain't quite there. But it's when I first stand up, it's a little like, oh, but I can still get around. You know what I mean? I'm here, and I'm loading that hip and I'm going, man. I think, you know what I mean? I've been living room, You know how it is. You walk around the house, you're like, all right, hold on, honey. Before I wash this dish, I gotta get up here. I gotta feel that lag. I gotta get up here, load that hip, and go. So, I'm feeling it. I'm okay. I'm thinking this Thursday I'll be ready to go. But yeah. So following that up, right before I blew my back out, Wapakata, St. Cloud, Sauk Rapids, whatever it is. Great place. Shot a 43.
Love that course.
I shot a 43 in the front. I was doing terrific. I was hitting some pars. Nothing outstanding. I mean, my farthest drive was probably 280 plus yards. Things are great. Hold on, I gotta take care of this fly.
Yeah. The golf addiction is what in the.
It's called the bug
Sorry,
assault, okay?
I was gonna come back with a
Dusted
simple
him. You want to
response
see
to
this? Do
you.
you want to see this? I just shot this bug. There's splatter on my screen. Bug assault.
That is correct. I did not expect to see a fly assault weapon.
Dude, you live in the country, man. You gotta be prepared. You can't. You gotta stay ready. Stay at the. Just a friendly reminder: you come into the Relander residence, we're packing. Okay. Thanks for getting heated. But yeah,
Bugs don't
Wapakata.
stand a chance.
Wapakata, dude. There's legit fly blood on my screen. All right, but yeah, so Wapakata, so 40, 43, it was a 43 or 44 on the front. It was good, right? And then
Sure.
I go on the back. First hole, I shot a 10, dude. 10. I lost 2 balls at the tee because you know 10 follows the county road.
It just runs along the road, right?
Yeah, I'm a righty, so that natural fade, you know, you get in your head, golf is 99% mental. Get my head in that thing road. And these guys are like, oh, you can, you know, blah blah blah. So then I just whipped out a 7-iron, and it's a long par 4. Whip out a 7-iron, just dusted 160 yards down the fairway. Second shot, there's water on both sides. Water, drop again. It was bad. And then, at that point, and then I followed up the next hole, that par 3. I shot like a 5, and then the hole after that shot a 9. I finished the back 9, dude, with a 49 after going 10-5-9.
Let me get this straight. You were 6 over, and then you were 2 over, and then you were 5 over. So you were 13 over through 3 on the back 9. And you finished the back 9 13 over. You were even on the last 6 holes. That's insane.
It's for me, that's insane. For you to look at me and say that to me, I'm looking at you going, that's not Brett. There's no way. There's no way he's even. Dude, you should see these putts I was draining. I drained 3, 4 plus 20 footers on the back. Just on the back alone.
How fun is that though? That's so
God.
fun when you just start grooving.
Dude, it would have been so much fun had I not had that 10 or that 9.
Oh, for sure, but it's fun either way.
Best golf I played all summer. I was super excited. I was playing with some guys that had never been around me since 4 years ago, and I was shooting a 50. And for me to come out first 9, shoot a 43, and then second 9, they're like, "Oh, there's the Brett we know," and I'm like, "Yeah, come on now." And then I'm legit, like, these guys are like, after my couple of drives on the front, they're like, "Hey, we better wait for that group in front of us that's still up on the green. You can get there." I'm like, "Yeah, that's right."
That's awesome. And that's the kind of thing that keeps us connected to this game. Is like, all it takes is a few good shots, a stretch of 6 holes where you're even par, and now you can't wait to get back out the next day, and then you rent your back. It's just how life is.
I gotta back you up though. I was playing with guys that were in their 60s, so they were playing from the blacks or the golds.
Sure.
I mean,
that's something, but at the same time, you still got to get the ball in the hole.
Right. It's still a par 4.
It's still impressive.
Yeah. It was all right though. It was good. So what? Tell me about your recent round.
Cool. I played Saturday. I did not play Thursday. Work is starting to get in the way a little bit, but I did play Saturday morning, and it was a putting abomination, to be honest. I mean, it was terrible. Like, I had so many 3-putts. I don't know. Like, remember when I described it in episode 1 as the handicap system as a cruel mistress? That trend has continued. I started the year at a 9.9. I said I'm going to drop this thing down to a 6, which was a lofty goal, I understand. But then by May, I was down to a 7.3, and we were rolling. I was like, this is going, come on, I'm going to be like a 5. Currently, just updated. The gin just updated. 9.2.
Ugh.
Oh, I am creeping back up towards where I started the year. I will not let it happen. I will finish the year strong. I have faith. That was just on Saturday morning a poor effort on my part. But that's okay. There's more golf to be played. September is, I would argue, the greatest golf month
Oh
of the
my
year in
God.
Minnesota.
It is so good. I mean, even like a week ago, the weather is so perfect. If you can get out at, that 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning where it's 58 degrees out and it's just dewy and oh my God, you got a little pullover going on. You get to the ninth hole making the turn and you're taking that thing off because it's starting to get a little sunny and overcast. And that smell, dude, that Minnesota smell where it starts to get, you know what I mean? It's like you start getting dressed for golf and it's just, oh man, it's just beautiful.
Speaking of dress for golf, did you just put a golf club back on your hand?
This thing pops out of nowhere all the time, doesn't it? I mean, I just eat, sleep, and drink ultras. I mean,
well, and you know how I know you've caught the golf bug real bad? One, right after a chiropractor visit, you're already kind of going, God, maybe I can make it work. Maybe it can happen.
I'm here.
Right. And you wear a golf glove when you talk on a podcast. I mean, this is true golf addiction, true golf bug.
It's good. It's good. So let's move on here. You sent me this article.
I did. I found an article. It's actually fairly old. I think it was written in 2015, but I thought it would make for some good podcast fodder here. The 26 hardest shots in golf. And here's how I want to do this. I want to present to you, the first and second one on the list. And maybe we'll just have a little commentary about which one we think is harder. And we'll just kind of just have that conversation. Maybe it's a bracket. Maybe we'll do half of them today and do the other half next episode. So the first on the list is, I've got it here. Which one's tougher, the tee shot on number one or the opening tee shot after you've insisted on playing from the tips, despite the starter strongly urging otherwise?
I've golfed from the tips once this year, and that was with you.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look back at that hole, it was number one Riverwood from the tips. My ball ended up 10 yards short from where it normally was every single time. Right side fairway, 160 to 180 yards out. Right? Every time. But that time, I distinctly remember it being a little windy, and I pulled that thing left down in the weeds. So, I mean, the tips are a little, what's the word? A little intimidating for me. So, I would have to go ahead and say the tips, because that number one tee shot, for me, it's normally hole one, upright, 160 to 180 out. That time we played from the tips. OB, short left, dry, stabby shot that wasn't good. So I'm going to have to go that way.
Okay. So you're going with that one. This is going to kind of not answer the question, but yet answer the question. I was playing in Arizona recently, a couple of years. This would have been 2 years ago, and Ranger comes up. What's that?
Was that the trip with me?
No, different trip. I went with a couple of buddies, kind of after our first trip down. And Ranger comes up, someone who knows the course, presumably similar to the starter in the example given here. And he says, does anyone have a rangefinder? And he kind of shoots it for us, and he knows the course. And he says, we each had like 5 woods out. Like, we were going to try to go for this green from a long way out, right? And he's like, don't do that. It's not the right play. You're going to lose your ball. Don't do it. All 4 of us were like, nah, we're fine. We got this. And he was right on every one of us. We all like either duffed it or put it out of bounds. or like, whatever the case was, did not hit a good shot.
Sure.
So the starter, the ranger, whoever it is, if they strongly urge you not to hit a shot, just heed their advice.
No
Just
way,
take
dude.
their advice
No
and
way,
do it.
because if you hit that shot, hold on a sec.
It does make
You
it
hit
look
that
good.
shot.
Oh yeah.
You hit that shot, you're this guy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I've been there.
You feel good
I know.
about it. All right, next matchup of hardest shots in golf. The seemingly gimme putt that you can't possibly miss until your opponent inquires you to finish it out, or the first shot after the group in front of you waves you to play through.
Ah, dude, okay. Here's the thing. If money's on the line, that gimme putt is so tough. When we were playing at Wapakata, these guys play a game called Wolf, where each hole's worth 25 cents. It's every person's hole. So let's say it was my hole that round, and there's 5 of us that golf together. If it's my hole that round, I stand in the back. Michael tee off first. If his shot's into the woods, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna wolf him. This guy named Danny, who is always right after me, so it was my hole, he'd hit it first. I don't know what was wrong with this guy, but he could play a draw like no other. He'd shoot it into the next fairway, drop back into the middle of the fairway. It was phenomenal. Worst golf swing, worst shot you ever seen in your life, but the guy could play it perfect into the fairway. So he hits it in the fairway. Every time I'm like, all right, Danny, I hate to do this to you, but I gotta wolf you. Dude, I'd have a putt this far from the hole that was worth like $3, $4 for the hole. You know what I mean? If I make this putt, it's $4 in me and Danny's pocket, and I'd miss it.
Oh sure.
Oh my god, it was so bad, so bad. Money on the line, a gimme putt. Oh, just better walking up there and just pretending to tap it and hope it goes in, type of deal.
Right. Those are the ones that fall. It's the ones that you agonize over that don't go in, that burn the edge.
Oh, dude, but playing through on a par 3 with some fat dude sitting there, like, totally judging you, smoking a stogie, like, you know what I mean? That stereotypical, like, douchey golfer that's just watching you and it's like, yeah, fine, you can come play through. I don't know.
And see, that's why that one is my answer. It's harder to play through someone than it is to make that short putt, because you're starting to feel like you're catching up to this guy or this group ahead of you, and
so you're a good golfer because you're catching up to him.
Well, because things are going well. You're probably playing well. You're not playing slow. You're not looking for balls. You're not three putting, whatever the case is, and you can tell that they're waiting, but you're still on the previous green. The green before the hole you're playing, and you try to putt out quick. You try to get up there. You try to get ahead, and they know you've been catching them because you've been hitting good shots, and they're like, all right, fine, you can play through, and you want to like, yeah, I deserve to play through. I'm gonna get out of your way. I'm gonna do this quick. And then you just proceed to duck hook one right into the water, or whatever the case is, and you just feel like such an idiot. Like you tried so hard to get up there, get out of their way. So there's kind of this anxious speed. You're out of your rhythm. You're out of your normal momentum, your normal pace. Yeah, for me, it's that one.
All right, so I'm going to ask you one now. So I've just been kind of skimming these, so I'm not going in any order or anything like that. I'm just kind of, I seen one here. It says a shot over water. For you, a shot over water, so like fairway to green.
Sure.
Or rough to green over bunker.
I don't know. This is going to sound super arrogant. Like this. I get that this answer sucks. Neither of those bug me. Like I don't know. Like I don't see that anymore because like
I'm mentally strong. I deal with kids.
I know I'm just really athletic and a really good golfer. No, like the reason is though, like I feel like when you start to have a little bit of success of like hitting the ball over the obstacle enough times, you just start to realize like it doesn't matter. It's still just a 9-iron, whether I'm hitting over ground or whatever, or a 7-iron, or whatever the case is. And you just got to look at it like, okay, so the pin maybe the pin is in the front and I have to hit it over water. Well, there's no reason to not just go over the pin, take the extra club. Like, it just doesn't bother me quite the same. So I get that answer just sucks. That's what it is for me.
Oh God, this is a good one. Playing from a different hole. Oh my God, dude. When you have to like wave someone through and play from a different hole, oh my God, that's the worst feeling in the world.
Or like, yeah, you have to like wait for them to hit their drives so that you can go out into the fairway.
No, or just go out
back
there and hit before they drive. So they're all in the tee box waiting for you, and you're in the middle of the fairway on hole, what would that be, 18, 17, 16, 15, hole 15, Riverwood.
Sure.
Yeah, so I always cut. I'm not going straight down the fairway. I cut over the right fairway, stay right at that pond, and land 100 yards out, dude. With my drive, if I can hit it good enough and hit it how I want to hit it, I can land 100 yards out on the side of that hill, kinda.
Mm-hmm.
And chip it in. But if I miss and I miss right, that thing's fading dead center of that fairway, short of where everyone's drives go, and they got to drive over me. Oh God, it's terrible.
I hate that. You just feel like such a dummy sometimes.
Oh God, golf is great, isn't it? Golf is great.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick one more matchup for you of hardest shots in golf. On the collar, like on the fringe, between the fringe and rough, right? So you're not on the green. Your ball actually stops sort of on the fringe and rough. You can't really get the club behind it because you got the rough. Or, and this is one of them on there too, the bunker shot that's not a greenside bunker, but it's not a fairway bunker. It's maybe 80. It's like an 80-yard bunker shot, less than 100-yard bunker shot.
That's tough. That one's tough because I'm gonna go bunker shot because my bunker shots are literally meant to go no more than 20 yards. Like, I can't hit a bunker shot more than 20 yards unless I got, a hybrid in my hands. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
If I grab a 7-iron, I don't know what's wrong with my mind, but I am so deep into the sand that ball only goes 20 yards. I grab a 58, I put that in my hands. The club doesn't go that far into the sand, but the ball's still going 20 yards. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that mind game.
And like you said, golf is like 90% mental, man. That's exactly the same. I'm the same way. And that's why on this list, that shot is the hardest for me. I don't like the shot off the collar. That is a difficult shot. But the play from the 80-yard bunker shot is the hardest for me. I look at this list, and some of them are like technical shots, like hitting it out of a bunker from 80 yards, and some are circumstantial, like the Bev cart girl pulls up, and you wanna hit a good shot, like the circumstantial stuff. But it's like the flop shot, or the shot
double
off the collar.
break, the leg putt.
Yeah, it's those technical ones that I find to be the most difficult. This was kind of a fun conversation. I enjoyed this one.
Yeah, no, speaking of that collar shot, I don't know if you remember talking, we probably rewatched it, but there was a point where I told you about that 60-foot putt that we made.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that was, if I remember correctly, that was kind of not a fringe rough, but I'm pretty sure it was like a green rough shot.
Oh, sure.
Like, that was it was on the green back right, but it was, you know what I mean? It was one of those tougher ones, but yeah. So
I'm all the more satisfying, for sure.
Yeah. Golf is, it's a great game, man. It is so much fun. But we got quite the event coming up here. One of the favorites. So tell me what the President's Cup is.
So the President's Cup, to be honest, I don't know how long it's been around, but it was sort of an equity thing, I suppose, in response to the Ryder Cup, which the Ryder Cup we know is the long storied history of the team competition between players from Europe and the American players. Well, that ended up sort of leaving out
1994.
94, yeah. So that ended up leaving out some of those great players from South Africa, the great Asian players on the tour, the great Australian players on the tour. You know, like those guys got left out of a team competition, and we didn't get to highlight their play. So the President's Cup was the response to that. And if the Ryder Cup happens every other year, right? The President's Cup is every other year in between those years, right? So they never happen on the same year, but they sort of alternate. It's coming up. It is the end of September. I want to say it's the weekend of the 24th. Like the competition days are the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. And it has been, in all honesty, a bit of a drubbing by the United States almost every time. Like, just because the caliber of player, like it's just harder to put together a team, I guess, considering the rest of the world than it is from those European teams. But this is the off year. We're going to see that competition here in just a couple weeks. Like I said, the 23rd through the 25th are the competition dates. I was of the opinion, and this would have been another Nostradoimus opinion, had it been, had things remained status quo as of earlier this year, that this President's Cup, the international team, was going to really give the United States a run for their money. And then the live happened. The internationals have now lost Cam Smith. I mean, Australian player number 2 in the world. He would have been a huge part of that team, right? I mean, they still have Hideki Matsuyama. There's just some names on there. Joaquin Neiman would have been on that team. He's from Chile. Do you say Chile or is it Chile? Am I being a little bit too dramatic? But I mean, so like I'm just gonna run through a couple of names here: Hideki Matsuyama, Sungjae Im, Tom Kim, Corey Connors, who's from our friends in the north of us, up in Canada. He's a Canadian. Mito Pereira, who almost won the PGA Championship, but Justin Thomas ended up winning. But Mito Pereira had the lead most of the weekend. And then Adam Scott, who's Australian, and honestly, he's another one I'm surprised hasn't already gone to win. But I mean, the names that team could have had, it's really kind of.
So you're talking about the international team, right?
Yeah, that's the international.
Come on. All right, you got Sergio, dude. He's been in the President's Cup how many times?
Well, no, Sergio's from Spain. He's a Ryder Cupper guy. He can't play in the President's Cup. So we're looking at like
shock. This is shock right now.
The rest of the world, but he's got a great Ryder Cup record, so that definitely could be what you're thinking of.
So explain this President's Cup a little bit more to me then. So we're not seeing Uste then. We're not seeing Sergio. We're not seeing Mark Leishman. We're not seeing.
No, Leishman you would. He's Australian, and
Uste then. He's Australian.
South African. Yep.
So why wouldn't we see? Oh, so it's just the European players we're not seeing.
Right. It's just if they're from Europe, any country in Europe, like Sergio being from Spain,
because they're
Rory
in the Ryder
McIlroy's
Cup,
from
they
Ireland.
can't be in the President's. This is bullshit. This is the dumbest.
Right.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Of course, in a stand the president of what an American thing to do. We're gonna just set it up so we can win.
Yeah, and you know what? I guess the President's Cup guys
right?
were at the mercy of that, and it seemed like they had built a team that was gonna rival the United States, and then Greg Norman comes in and just puts the kibosh on the whole thing. So I don't think we're there now. I reserve the right to change that opinion by a totally unknown. Out of left field, did not expect Live Tour prominence to be what it is, and here we are. So it's coming up. It's still a team competition. It's still kind of neat, but I just don't expect the quality of competition to be there.
You're not gonna see it.
Yeah, I think it's just unfortunate. And other than that, man, there's just not a lot really left on the PGA Tour season. Of course, until we get to January, that really stands out as great golf. The Fortinet's coming up.
I was just gonna say that. This is a smooth transition in our set list here. We're gonna talk a little bit about Fortinet, not to be confused with misspelling Fortnite.
Yes, this is different. Fortinet. I don't know what the hell they do. What Fortinet does. What they sell. Who they are. But they're sponsoring this tournament. The defending champion, of course, is my guy. We talked about this with Austin Host from Utility Sports. Who's your favorite golfer? My guy, Max Homa, reigning champ. So I'll watch for him because I like him. But it's just, it's those small guys. It's a bunch of the 3M guys.
So, yeah, and this isn't a PGA Tour type deal, is it?
It is. They still get points.
What does it count towards? Because the championship was over.
The 2022-2023 PGA Tour season.
So we're already on to the next season.
Yeah.
These guys don't even get a week. This is dumb.
They get like 1 week between the Tour Championship and the Fall Series. And this is what was one of the things that caused the PGA Tour guys some frustration. Was like, we don't even get an off season. Like these other tours do, or like these other sports do.
So when do the rankings restart?
This week.
So
technically, not world rankings, but the FedEx Cup rankings reset technically this week.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a little bit of a different deal, but yeah, I don't know. It's something that I will check in on because you do it for the podcast, right?
And see, here's the thing. I love Daytona 500. Okay, I'm not NASCAR. It's not too exciting, but Daytona 500 kicks it off every year.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Rams.
Who is it Thursday? The Rams. Give me a second. And the Patriots? No, who is it? Rams and who? They're another really good defensive team. 49ers. No. Who is it? You got to tell me.
Nope, not telling you.
It's throwing me.
Nope, we're gonna let that one dwindle. But your boy Josh Allen, he's gonna be playing Thursday night. It's gonna be a great game.
Hey Siri.
I just gave
Who's
you it.
Playing on Thursday? Josh Allen. It's the Buffalo Bills, Scout. Dang it! I knew it. I knew it was two good defenses.
Josh Allen, dude. It's Rams Bills Thursday night, dude. Oh my god, I'm so pumped, dude. I am jacking. Don't tell my wife this. I don't want to say this too loud. But there's this app called Prize Picks, dude. I've won $400 or $500 on this app just making stupid little $5 bets.
Mm-hmm.
Cashed out some money. I'm still up a couple $100 probably. But I told myself after hockey ended that I wasn't doing any more until football started. So I'm so jacked to load this thing up with $300-$400 to gamble my little heart away.
I see your point though. Like, this is technically the kickoff to the season, and
right.
We're going with the Fortinet. Like, bring the noise here. Like, Let's go Rams Bills. Like, let's make this thing a show.
Yeah. Okay. I want it to be like the start of the season should be a major. Like, okay, we're doing this, followed by President's Cup, followed by the big Minnesota 3M.
You are an optimist.
We're going to follow it up with the Detroit Rocket Mortgage. God, that's not going to work either. God. You guys, what are we going to do here? Hey, Liv's got something going. We're just going to throw something out there and maybe throw out $8 million. How about that?
Right. I think
Who shows? It's dumb. They gotta get this. They gotta get this stuff together and turn it into a freaking league, dude. Like this FedEx Cup playoffs. Like Scotty Scheffler starting out with a 14-stroke lead or whatever it was, and you're like, okay, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Like, the only guy that's got a chance is Rory, and of course he comes steamrolling forward because Scotty couldn't fold. He folded under pressure because he hasn't been there a million times like Rory has. Of course he'd won it 3 times because he ain't playing against a Phil Mickelson. He ain't playing against Tiger Woods. He ain't playing against a,
Right. And we are going to see some big changes in 2024, and that's a good thing. We need to see those changes. This fall series is sort of going to go away. I hope they change the Tour Championship. I hope they change the playoffs to some sort of match play thing. I think that would be sweet. Just over the course of those 3 weeks, like it just, breaks down until you have a championship match. I think that'd be kind of cool. But you're exactly right. Some of the things that are going on out there are kind of silly.
I just want to compare. I want to give someone a good comparison to how I feel about golf in its entirety of how its season's played out. Okay. Do you know who Ohio State's or LSU or Alabama's first opponent was in college football?
LSU played Florida State.
That wasn't their first game, though.
Yeah, it was. Yesterday.
That was their first game yesterday?
Yeah. Or, no, it's Monday. We're recording this on Monday. But Saturday, they played Florida State. And they lost on, they scored a touchdown as time expired.
Okay, that was a bad example. Okay, let's go back to Alabama. Okay, Alabama is going to be ranked number 1 in the country, right? Do you know who they played for their first game?
I don't. Probably some nobody.
Utah State Aggies. Do you know what the final score was?
70-3.
55-0. Dude.
Right. Okay. Right.
55-0. Like, this is not a college football game. Okay, this is what is this? What is this is the Fortinet game of the season. This is the opening game. You know what I mean? This is the relative college football. Now, let's talk about the college football playoffs. What do those look like?
Some good football.
We're gonna all right, we're gonna draw out of a hat here. This team went 15-0. This one went 16-1. This team went, you know what I mean. This team only lost twice. This team only lost once.
Right.
All right. Alabama. Yep. Ohio State. Yep.
Georgia.
Yep. Last one. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we go Wisconsin? Should we go Oklahoma? I don't know. Pick one of the guys that are there every once. Notre Dame, Oregon.
Right.
Oklahoma.
Texas.
Yeah, let's go there. You know what I mean? That's how the playoffs are legitimately put together for college football. It's not cool. I mean, it's not. Let's start it out let's. Yeah, I'm right there. So you get it.
Yeah, I'm frustrated. I'm right with you, frustrated. But again, changes in 2024. Big things gonna happen for the PGA Tour.
All right, so let's. I don't know. Should we end this on a? What do you want? How do you want to end today's podcast? I mean, shit's heated over at the Relander residence.
Yeah, I think.
Dying.
Yeah, you are. Looks like you got something you got to go do. You got to go handle some business. You got to take out some house flies. They don't stand a chance.
Dude, it's a bad day to be a fly, especially on the Relander residence. So.
Well, you look like you got a lot to do, so let's just get out of here on this. Please follow, like, subscribe. Let's get the word out about Minnesota Left-Handers events and podcasts. Clearly, we're having a good time. We'd love to have all of our listeners having a good time as well. So find us on social media and come back, of course, for more soon.
Nostradoimus. Nostradoimus. What you gotta leave us with one.
The President's Cup is going to be won by the United States. That's a cupcake bet. Cupcake bet today. That's all I got.
I'll take the under. Well, gentlemen, have a good night.